I remember the cold floor before I remember the faces. The moment I collapsed at my own graduation, my world shrank into a tight, pulsing ring of darkness. Voices echoing, shoes scrambling, distant panic. Someone shouted for a doctor. Someone else tried to lift my head. I was drifting in and out, drowning in the sound of my own heartbeat. When I woke up hours later, I asked one question. Did my parents come? The nurse hesitated. That pause told me everything before she whispered, "We called them. They said they were busy." Busy. My body felt heavier than the machines attached to me. I opened my phone out of instinct. Maybe they texted, maybe they explained, maybe... A notification blinked. A tag. A photo from my sister. Family day without the drama. Them. Smiling. Eating. Celebrating. I was on a hospital bed, and my own family was celebrating the peace created by my absence. I said nothing. I wasn't always the problem. There was a time my parents called me the glue, the steady one, the one who never asks for anything. They depended on that image more than they depended on me. But the more self-sufficient I became, the more they leaned on me, financially, emotionally, logistically, until I wasn't a person anymore. I was an extension, an unpaid insurance policy. My sister, though, she learned early that crying loud wins more hearts than working quietly. She played them like an instrument. I was the responsible one. She was the fragile one. They never questioned the imbalance. I didn't fight it. I just kept moving, kept achieving. Graduation was supposed to be my day, my moment. Instead, it became the day they revealed exactly who they were. Then came the betrayal I didn't expect. 3 days after the collapse, still weak, still hooked to monitors, I woke up to 75 missed calls, all from Dad. A final message sat beneath them: "We need you. Answer immediately." No apology, no concern, no "how are you feeling?" I should have ignored it. Instead, I answered. His voice came in frantic bursts: money missing, accounts frozen, a disaster, a mess, and apparently only I could fix it. He needed my banking access, my approval, my signature. That's when it clicked. They didn't come for me because they needed me alive. They came for me now because they needed me useful. Even half-conscious, I felt a dangerous calm settle inside me. For once, they needed something, and for the first time in my life, I didn't. So I planned. Quietly. Precisely. I didn't yell, I didn't accuse, I listened. Dad's emergency was the fallout of years of impulsive decisions masked as generosity toward my sister. Loans in her name, cards in his, payments missed. My name sprinkled casually across documents I had never seen. They used my credit like an endless well. I collapsed, and suddenly the well was dry. I pretended confusion. I asked for details. I asked for paperwork. I asked for everything they had hidden for years. Every file, every email, every signature they thought I wouldn't question, I collected it all. And then I did something they never expected. I hired a lawyer. Not to save them, to save myself. The execution was simple, clinical, and irreversible. First, I froze every account linked to my name. Then, I reported the unauthorized documents. When the bank asked if I suspected the person who committed the fraud, I gave them my father's full name. Not angrily, not emotionally, just factually. Next, I transferred the medical bill responsibility to the emergency contact on file, my mother. Hospitals take that seriously. I knew they would. Lastly, I sent my sister a single message. Family day without the drama? Congratulations, you've earned the spotlight. Attached was the legal notice addressed to her, explaining her involvement in the fraudulent loans. I didn't block them. I wanted to hear the silence break. The climax came 2 weeks later. I was already healing, walking on my own again, the sun warm against my skin when the calls started. First cautious, then pleading, then furious. Mom cried, Dad begged, my sister screamed. They wanted the old me, the dependable me, the glue. But I wasn't glue anymore. I was a mirror. When Dad finally came to my apartment, pounding on the door, accusing me of destroying the family, I opened the door fully, calmly, and looked him in the eyes. You destroyed it the day you left me alone in that hospital bed, I said. I'm just finishing what you started. He looked smaller than I'd ever seen him. The resolution felt like oxygen. They lost access. They lost control. They lost the version of me they could mold and use. I didn't feel guilty, not even for a moment. People like them mistake silence for weakness. They forget silence is also the perfect place to plan. And I did. I planned my freedom with the same precision they planned my exploitation. When I collapsed at my graduation, they celebrated the relief of losing the drama. They didn't realize I was waking up.